Good morning. This is a Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Good to have you folks along here this morning. Cloudy skies, a little south breeze out there. But we do mean let's look forward to the next few days. We're going to be seeing temperatures in the 30s, maybe the 40s. I see on the east end of the state they're looking at 50s.
That's great.
That's because they don't have any snow down there.
Yeah.
Makes about 5-10 degree difference, but we'll take it. We'll melt some snow down here. That will be a little breezy along the way, according to the forecast. So good things ahead weather-wise. Now, let's back up to yesterday. Did Coach Patch, I heard a conversation. I was out here wrapping things up yesterday. I heard a conversation. I just want to clear the air a little bit on some conversation that you had with Coach Patch and Coach Crawley at the end of your coverage yesterday on KCNI for the Southwest Conference Wrestling that took place.
End of the coverage.
Yeah, right at the very end.
Okay.
There was conversation going on about would Dave buy Coach Patch a hot dog, and you indicated that I might, and that I wouldn't pay mileage. The conversation basically was portraying yours truly as, a cheapskate. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't intended that way.
Well, that's the way it came out.
Well, the way I looked at it was I was defending you.
Oh, I didn't sound that way to me.
Well, I think Patch was trying to see if you would pay him. He was kind of thinking you should pay him mileage. Now, Patch came all the way from Chicago. Now, I'm trying to think what that mileage bill would be, but that would be awfully high. So I kind of took it as though I was trying to defend you on that.
It didn't.
And therefore,
sound that
I
way.
brought up the idea of a hot dog.
Yeah, you can try.
And then I was questioning whether you would even do that.
Man, I heard the conversation. You can make a Peg, Mom. I hate to be a tattletale, but man, my bro didn't cover my back last night.
Well, now to defend me just a little bit here, how many times has David J. Burney took the airwaves here and referred to himself as Jack Benny?
Well, that's my privilege. That's my right.
Yeah, well, what does that mean? Come on, be honest.
Well, it means that I'm frugal.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I'm not a.
And that's why when Patch brought up the idea of paying mileage, I'm like, probably not going to happen. And I'm like, man, maybe we could get you a hot dog. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what you said, maybe.
You would swing for that.
And then
am I lying?
Well, and then Meg goes, well, maybe if I took something to his son in Chicago, I understand they don't live very far apart from my kids.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to pile on some mileage. If he took, something, maybe, a late Christmas gift or something to Chicago, to Chris, my son, that I would pay him all the way back just to take that Christmas gift back. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't do it.
See? And because why? Because you're cheap.
God,
I forgot about that conversation until you brought it up.
Yeah, I was going to make sure you got off the air okay, and I was still out here just pittering around, and then I heard this conversation, and next thing you know, I'm being bashed.
Yeah. It was great working with Kirk and Mick all together again. We really kind of... You knew that we were all back together when we were off the air when this occurred, but they had 3 mats out at the meet yesterday.
Right.
And I didn't see at first. They had numbers on the tables by the mats, but I didn't see that right away. So I asked which mat is 1, 2, and 3. Well, Mr. Patch immediately let me know that the one in the middle would be number 2.
I heard that conversation as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
It was good. Right away, I'm like, oh, yes, the band is back together, baby.
Well, it was fun to listen to. Great action to call. Southwest Conference is always a big deal. And some really good matches to listen to. We enjoyed it. But basically, you're just getting started. I mean, congratulations, first of all, and more importantly than our little battering of one another here. More importantly is the actual coverage of the event, which was fantastic. The kids were really wrestling hard. It was fun to listen to.
Good meet.
Yeah, very good meet. Now, boy, oh boy, tomorrow, all day into the night.
Yes.
Wrestling, and more wrestling. And I know Coach Patch and Coach Crowley are like, it's Christmas. It's all here. We've been waiting for this all year long.
Yeah. We'll be at state duels tomorrow. Looking forward to that. A lot of action to cover for our area schools. Wow. You've got Broken Bow qualifying, of course, in Class C. They're the number 2 seed there. And Selma Myrna qualified in Class D, their first trip to the state duels. And they will be the number 2 seed in Class D. Twin Loop qualifying as well. They'll be the number 3 seed. Wouldn't it be cool if Twin Loop and Anselmo Myrna each won their opening duel in the quarterfinals? They would wrestle each other in the semis.
Oh, man.
So, listen, we're pulling for that. I'm just going to say it. So that would be cool. But anyway, those will be the 3 teams that we'll be concentrating on. And then you have a couple of other teams in the region. Of course, Cozad winning the Southwest Conference Championship yesterday. They'll be at state duels in Class B. Burwell will be there as well. And we'll keep track of how they're doing and basically just obviously keep track of everything that's happening for you tomorrow at state duels.
All right, very good. We have a good show lined up for you today. We'll be having some FFA students in later on in the show. I think I misread this earlier this morning. I thought they were going to be early, but they're going to be coming in the 9 o'clock hour to talk about their FFA labor auction. So that should be very interesting. We also have Rick Nelson, the manager at Custer Public Power District, and we're going to be talking about how we might be able to try to save a little money the rest of the winter. Also, Mid-Plains Community College is on our schedule today. And we also expect Stefan's Law Office in here this morning. They're going to have an estate planning seminar, which is a free seminar coming up that they want to tell you about. So those are some things that are on our list for guests. We have a few other items of interest. Right now we're going to take a look at the school lunch menus for Friday. And we're going to start actually with the Prairie Pioneer Center. And they're having chili, cottage cheese, fruit, and cornbread today. Call them at 872-6121. Let them know you'd like to come and enjoy a meal.
All right, to the schools now. Loop City today, hamburger or chicken strips with sun chips on the menu today at Loop City.
Sandhills Dunning, it's pizza, chips, and dessert.
Thetford today, super nachos on the menu at Thetford.
Gothenburg, chicken gravy over rice, pizza, Swede chef salad, Sweetable deli sandwiches.
Broken Bow Middle and High School today on the lunch menu, cheese pizza, made fresh cheesy ham-baked tater with breadsticks, fresh-baked ham and turkey sub, grilled chicken shaker with roasted flatbread, and the Grill Station combos, a spicy chicken sandwich basket. Choices today at Broken Bow.
At Cozad, it's cheese pizza, ham and cheese, French toast sandwiches, and they're also having their favorites, which of course is peanut butter and jelly with yogurt, and they're having mixed greens and fresh market produce, all at Cozad High School today.
Ansley today, hamburgers at Ansley. And let's see, we got Sargent Public School lunch menu for you today as well, and at Sargent, hamburgers, taters, fruit cup, milk and salad bar on the menu at Sargent.
And Selma Myrna featuring Pizza Hut pizza today. Fresh, cheesy ham-baked tater with breadsticks, grilled chicken shaker with roasted flatbread, fajita deli wrap, vegetables, fruit, and milk. And that is at Anselmo Myrna today. And at Sandhills Schools, That was January's because I already did that one. Let me get rid of that one. We're good to go. Let's play the game.
All right, here we go. New batch of questions beginning today. It's Chocolate Lovers Month. Do you love chocolate? Well, these questions are for you. Here's your first one. Which of these candy bars has the advertisement to satisfy you? Which of these candy bars has the advertisement to satisfy you? Is it the Zero Bar, the Marathon Bar, Snickers, or Mars? Which of these candy bars has the advertisement to satisfy you? Your choices are a Zero Bar, the Marathon, a Snickers, or a Mars bar. If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Is winter weather and the fear of falling keeping you indoors for the season? Don't fall. Give Pearson's a call. Poor balance and falls can diminish your ability to lead an active and independent life, but you don't have to accept them as a consequence of aging. Pearson Physical Therapy has been helping their patients stay on their feet and take back their independence through individualized balance training programs. Reduce your chance for falls and regain your confidence this winter by calling 308-872-5800 for a free fall risk assessment with one of our therapists. That's Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 in Broken Bow.
We've got spirit, yes we do. We've got spirit, how about you?
Here at Nebraska State Bank, we've got school spirit. Introducing mascot debit cards from Nebraska State Bank. Now you can go to your local NSB branch and request a new debit card for your favorite high school team. The Broken Bow Indians, South Loop Bobcats, or Ancilla Murray debit cards are available by instant issue. You'll only pay $10, and the entire amount will be passed along to your school. It's a win-win situation, right? Take your school pride to the next level at Nebraska State Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
All right, we did not get a call. What's the answer on that, Brent?
I'm surprised we didn't get a call. Snickers. Snickers bar to satisfy you.
I wouldn't have got that.
Really?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's their big ad campaign.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the commercials where the guy's kind of, off his game or angry or something, and
somebody maybe insulted them and maybe talked about them behind their back.
That could be, yes. And you give them a Snickers bar, and then all of a sudden everything is good, and it's to satisfy you.
Oh, okay. I believe we have our guests in the lobby. We're going to go out and check while you folks listen to these words.
Winter's still happening. You know that white stuff on the ground? It's going to be here for a while longer. Come and save with us at Bo Bootery. Winter merchandise is marked 30% off all week long. Come save some cash and get winter shoes and boots that you can pop on your feet right now. Styles for men, women, and kids are on the shelves marked with savings. The winter clearance at your home-owned shoe store, Bo Bootery.
The list of songs about love is a long one.
Girl, I've always loved you.
Girl, you ain't been loved till you've been loved by a country boy.
Loving you easy.
At KCNI KBBN, we love shopping local. Make sure you're listening to The Breakfast Show. Every single day, a new $25 gift card will be given away. The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
My day starts right.
With Dave and Brent.
It is 7:44. We promise you we're going to talk about estate planning with some of our local experts and legal advisors. Steffens Law Office. Bill Steffens is here. And Jeremiah, how you doing over there?
Great, guys. Good morning.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
All right, pull those mics
well.
over. I'm sorry. There we go. So,
okay.
Do you mind if we, when we have you here, I don't suppose this ever happens to you guys as lawyers, but Brent and I, we have limited resources because we're radio guys. Wondering maybe if we could get a little free legal advice while you're here about some of the situations we're in.
Dave, actually, we'd be happy to give you some advice.
Oh, good.
And I guess we're not on the clock at the moment, but quite frankly, we came with the idea we might get a little advice from you.
This is true.
Yeah, not so much about estate planning, but we've done this program for 20, maybe 25 years, and every year we look for something new, a way to freshen it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
give it a little pizzazz. And this year we were thinking about maybe a poem. and frankly, Dave, given your recent notoriety as a local poet, we thought who better to come and consult with than yourself.
We need your help. We do.
We do.
Boy, that's putting a lot of pressure on Brent.
Wow.
Did you want me to work something up during the show, or did you want me to? Did you want to see a draft first?
Actually,
we've got something ready for you. We do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
with your permission,
well, of
we'd
course.
like to go ahead and maybe have Jeremiah read it and get your thoughts and advice about it.
And we've got our pens out too, so we can take notes. So
okay.
All right. So Jack and Jill considered a will, but never put it in writing. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Now Jill's in court just fighting. So take a moral from this story and heed this cautionary tale. For we'll always have cause to worry, but with a will, we'll surely prevail. Stefan's Law Office has an offering on Wednesday this week next. Learn how to prevent this suffering and heed the warning of this text. We'll speak of gun trusts and wills and the changes in inheritance tax. Even powers of attorneys for all your ills. Your attendance is all we ask.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, that's
my goodness.
amazing.
As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'd like to add this little effect to that, just to show you the approval here that we feel.
No, don't.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong. It was supposed to be applause, Dave, not laughter.
Let me play that one.
There, that sounds better.
Do we pass? Do we get on a sliding scale? Maybe we get a B?
I think that was really good.
That was good. Yes, it was.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I would recommend, just from my short experience as a poet, is maybe a couple of long pauses in there to make it just a little more dramatic.
Oh, the dramatic pause.
That would be the only thing, Jeremiah, is just a little bit of a pause here. And then you almost want to make them, wonder if you've lost your mind. Or if you don't know
I
what
could
the
use
next
your
word...
advice on that, I think.
Well, if anybody could give you advice on losing their mind, it'd be David J. Burney.
That was great. That's pretty cool. A great way to promote what you guys are doing. And as Bill knows, I've attended one of these estate planning gatherings, and it's well worth the time spent. And, Bill, we actually went ahead and followed up your recommendations and got some things done as far as, the future. None of us like to plan very much for things, but we have to, and this really kind of gets the ball rolling, doesn't it?
It does, and we try to bring topics to bear that encourage people to sit down and take a little time and plan. Now is really a great time of the year as we start the year. A lot of people come in with the idea that this is one more thing to check off their to-do list for 2023.
Yeah, and a lot of things that you don't think about, Jeremiah, that pop up in this presentation, and I'm sure it's changed some, and it's fluid and evolves as time goes along. But I think Joan and I were kind of sitting there, and every once in a while we'd look at each other and go, "I didn't know that." You kind of learn how many different options there are and different things you need to think about, right?
Well, absolutely. If you might have a will, but maybe you've gone to the bank and you've got a bank account that's owned with one child. Your plan is to, have everything split equally. You've got 3 children, and well, if a bank account is designated to one specific person, that person gets the cash, and the other children could be left high and dry. So there are some pitfalls that we try to cover and help people learn about, and so they can make the plan that's right for them and create chaos, or prevent chaos. Down the road. Excuse me.
Yep. And Bill, things like power of attorney and all those sorts of things that kind of, when we hear that, kind of sets us back. It's not so complicated that we can't get through it with a little help, and that's what this does.
You're right, Dave. From day one, the purpose of the seminar has always been to speak plainly and simply about estate planning. we don't use big words. We stay away from legalese as much as possible and talk about basic concepts.
Yeah. I should mention, and we'll mention this a couple more times in our conversation, this is coming up on Wednesday, February 8th at 6:30 at the Broken Bow Library's multi-purpose room, and that's where Joan and I went. It's a great room for just the right size, and you can hear and understand everything easily. And so that's on February 8th. That's Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. You guys take some nice pictures. I like the pictures on your flyer here. Who's this character up in the right-hand corner here?
Well, that's local agent, certified financial planner James Klang, and he's going to help us out. Congress passed some recent laws at the end of December, and he's going to teach us about that and help educate folks on how to save money on taxes, which is always a popular topic.
Yeah, that's one that everybody's ears perk up on.
That's right.
That's something about taxes just kind of irritates us. So anything we can do to alleviate some of that, paying, we all want to, I guess, pay our fair share, but you hate to pay more than you would have to, and there's ways you can, through the right avenues, save yourself a little bit of money, I think.
Yeah, and that's true. And again, the seminar is free. Dave, we even have cookies and coffee that we offer.
And I would highly recommend, Jeremiah, that you reread that poem before you start, or maybe as a grand finale.
Thank you, and I'll try to put in the dramatic pause from time to time.
It's just in a suggestion. I'm not
Absolutely.
saying you have to, but it's certainly worked with Brent. You should see his eyes get big when there's that long pause like that.
You know, Dave, something we'd like you to consider here. This doesn't come up until next Wednesday. We'd like you to consider maybe a public reading yourself. We understand you're doing some of these local.
Well, I've just broke ground this week on presenting it to the public. I could probably do something maybe on probate.
Yeah.
Just dive in on one particular, avoiding probate, and save time and money, and maybe use that as an ode to probate.
I like it already. I do. Well, if you can find the time, we'd love to have you.
Okay. Well, it's well worth the time for folks to go, whether there's a poem or not. Do you want to run down some of we kind of bounced around here, guys, but there's lots of things here that people, the one that kind of catches your ear too is a gun trust. And I'm not sure everybody understands that, Jeremiah. Maybe you could explain that just a little bit.
Absolutely. So a gun trust is an estate planning document specifically for firearms and firearm-related accessories. So you wouldn't have to have one necessarily. Obviously, your will could take care of that. But we found that it really does ensure the safe and legal transfer of firearms when you pass away. Nebraska's a red state. What if your son or daughter moves to California?
Okay.
And you want them to receive your firearm with a 30-round magazine when you pass away? You ought to really consider a gun trust. There's been information in the media recently about these pistol braces, suppressors. We really think that the only way to own a suppressor to prevent, your wife from getting in the truck with your varmint rifle with a suppressor attached. If you own that suppressor, well, you've probably illegally transferred a restricted firearm in violation of the law and a felony that is up to 10 years in prison.
Wow.
If the gun trust owns it and your wife is a beneficiary or an additional trustee of that trust, perfectly legal.
Oh.
So we want to keep you out of the slam, Dave.
Well, I appreciate that. But I don't think anybody ever think about it that way, and you're right. This is a red state, so you think everything's fine, but our kids and everybody moves away, and someday you maybe want them to have that shotgun that Granddad had and that sort of thing, which is very important. Means a lot to people out there. So that's just one of the things when you mentioned new Nebraska law on tax reduction and all of those sorts of things that gosh, most of us just don't want to think about or don't even know about guys unless you have one of these gatherings to kind of help us get started. So I think it's a great opportunity here. And again, that's Wednesday, February 8th at 6:30 p.m. There will be cookies there. What's the fluids? Are you having like Kool-Aid or?
Well, you know, it is at the library. We're going to stick with water, regular coffee, you know, leaded and unleaded, because if it's 8 o'clock at night and you're wrapping up, you may want something with a little decaf.
There you go. There you go. All right. I don't know how many of these, Bill, that you've done and done with Jeremiah over the years, but I got to believe that you think they're worthwhile, because if you get 25 people there and half of them decide maybe it's time to take some action, it's well worth it, isn't it?
I think it really is. And, you know, we see it as a public service. People come in, they may desire to go to another law firm, and that's fine. We're just interested in getting the material out there to people. Surprisingly, the statistics indicate that less than half of the public has a will or a trust.
Or even a will, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
And if you don't have one, well, the state has one for you. That's a common expression, and it may not be the way you want your property to be distributed when you pass.
I would imagine that they would be more than happy to help you at the end there. So take care of that ahead of time. That's what this is all about. And also the property you own and the possessions. As I remember, we got a booklet, and it had different categories where we entered our possessions and maybe where that needs to go if something happens to us, right?
Yes. Over the years, we've developed a handbook that categorizes materials that we feel are really important as part of your estate plan. Many people have the idea that you sign a will or a trust and you stick it away, you're all done, that's the end of things. And with this notebook, you're able to keep that plan up to date and be assured that when your time comes, there's a plan there after you that will avoid chaos, as Jeremiah stated.
I don't want to dive into this too far, but with the internet and the world we live in today, and how do I want to put this? So-called experts, either online or in the face-to-face world, throw a trust together. There's a lot of folks out there that say, "Well, I know how to make a trust for you. I got this guideline I go through, and you get the trust made." Number one, is it going to work? Number two, there's changes as time goes along, and if you don't have legal counsel, let those folks know about those changes. I think there'd be some real pitfalls there.
There are, and it's interesting that you might think that estate planning doesn't change that much. I mean, but it really does. And as Jeremiah indicated, laws in regards to taxes and so forth, and what we've done a number of times in the office, when something new and striking does come along, we'll send that information out to clients of our own, and then when we do our annual seminar, we'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. But it really does change from year to year.
And so you, for your customers, your clients, you do an annual review all with everyone or individually, or how does that work?
We recommend reviewing your will or your trust periodically. We don't have a specific guideline for that.
Okay. Right. But it's something that should be done, right?
It really should.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
And the personal service that you're talking about, I think, Dave, you could go online and get a form that maybe it's legal in New York or somewhere else, but I think, as Bill mentioned, when we hear of, the laws change, I mean, I remember a few years ago, we sent a letter out to, about 200 clients, maybe more, about an upcoming situation that could harm some folks. And we did a lot of work real quickly, and a lot of folks found some benefit from that, I think. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't have gotten that if they'd gone to LegalZoom.com or
Whatever it's
wherever it is, you know.
Yeah, you can Google up anything, but doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah.
So, gosh, basic wills, trusts, don't leave the decisions up to the court. Healthcare power of attorney, we mentioned. The gun trust, I think there's a lot of people that would be interested in that and that transfer situation. Tax reduction, avoiding probate, and that organizational notebook, which comes with the presentation to kind of get you started. It's a great program, guys, and this is all coming up on Wednesday, February 8th at 6:30 p.m. at the Broken Bow Library's multi-purpose room, and Bill and Jeremiah will be there to help you, and James Klang, financial guest speaker. And of course, we have James and staff out quite often here on the Breakfast Show. We always enjoy talking to them because it's kind of the same thing. You think you understand the financial side of your world, and once you start having that conversation, you realize there's a lot of things to consider that dovetail with what you guys are talking about. So, fantastic. I love the poem, didn't you, Brent?
That was fantastic.
I feel honored that these guys put it together in just this week, the same week that I broke out.
Yeah. Well, it's the inspiration you give people, Dave.
Well, you know, when you come out of the closet as a poet, all good things happen.
I do have a quick question, guys. You mentioned it's free.
It is.
Do you want people to call ahead and register if they plan on coming so you have an idea of how many you might have, or is it just show up if you're able to?
Yes, we would love to have you call ahead.
Okay.
Our phone number, it's on the ad. It's, you can find it online, 872-8327 local. We've got that organizational notebook. I call it a one-stop shop for all your estate planning needs and organization. And we prepare those, and we let folks look at them during the seminar. And we want to make sure that everyone can look at one. So we'd love for you to give us a call on RSVP.
We've got a lot of handout materials, and I think twice we've run a little short. I always feel bad about that. So if people call in, let us know they plan on being there. We can be sure and have enough materials.
Okay, all right. Jeremiah, also before you go, I'd like to talk to you about night crawlers sometime.
It's getting time. It's getting close
Spring
to buying
is not
a
too
whole
far
bunch
away,
of them.
my friend.
That's right.
And I understand you have an inside avenue to night crawlers. I'd like to talk to you about that.
That sounds good.
Now, actually, as you can see, we're 2.5 minutes over time, but I'm not going to add that on to your costs because of the poem that you read and the discussion about the night crawlers. I don't think that should be included in this part of the show.
We appreciate that, Dave.
Thank you.
Yeah. Always good to see you.
You too. Stefan's Law Office, again, Wednesday, February 8th, 6:30 p.m. at the Broken Bow Library, multi-purpose room. Bill and Jeremiah and James Klang will be there to help you. The phone number to call them today at 872-8327. News is next right here on this Friday.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. The labor market cooling or not? The January jobs report has just been released. Employers added 517,000 positions last month. That's a jump from 223,000 in December. The unemployment rate is down to 3.4% from 3.5%. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick with some perspective.
While layoffs and job cut announcements have been on the rise, that trend has yet to be evident in jobless claims data, with new claims falling to the lowest level since last April. The Labor Department reported this week the number of job openings in the U.S. surged as of the end of December to more than 11 million. That suggests there were 1.9 jobs open for each unemployed person.
Most new jobs were added in leisure, hospitality, healthcare, professional, and business services. Again, a whopping 517,000 new positions added last month. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, students and staff returned to Thayer Central Community Schools in Hebron on Thursday. This came after the Thayer County Sheriff's Office and the Nebraska State Patrol identified the person behind a social media threat suggesting a possible school shooting. Thayer Central Elementary Principal Eric Hoops said a couple of students saw the post and notified a teacher. He said the students did the absolute right thing, and they brought this to the attention of an adult. Hoops said the teacher then took it to the administration, and they contacted the Thayer County Sheriff's Office, who then asked for help from the Nebraska State Patrol. Thayer County Sheriff David Lee said the first and foremost on their minds was the safety and security of the students and staff at the school. Lee said they reached out to the Nebraska State Patrol immediately. Law enforcement was able to track it back to a former student from the last couple of years who now reside in New Mexico. Arrest warrants are on the brink, and the investigation continues. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NFL as we count down to Super Bowl 57. We have injury news involving both the Chiefs and the Eagles for Kansas City. Corner L'Jarius Sneed, who was injured early in the AFC title game, remains in the concussion protocol. He has not practiced with the team. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster and Kadarius Toney both expected to play in the Super Bowl. Smith-Schuster coming back from a knee, Toney from an ankle. But fellow wide receiver Mecole Hardman likely to miss the game due to a pelvis injury. For Philadelphia, left guard Landon Dickerson is expected to play despite suffering a hyperextended elbow in the NFC title game. Also, this from the NFL, Bengals running back Joe Mixon has had a warrant issued for his arrest for aggravated menacing. There was a claim that he pointed a gun at a woman, although his agent has come out to say that those charges are going to be dismissed later this morning. In the NBA, the Bucks beat the Clippers 106-105. Giannis Antetokounmpo 54 points in the win for Milwaukee as they rally from down 21 points.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Some fog early on today, otherwise sunny with a high nearing 33. Partly cloudy overnight tonight with a low around 22. Staying sunny but breezy throughout Saturday with a high nearing 40. Westerly winds between 10 and 20 and gusting as high as 35. And clear skies Saturday night with a low around 22. More sunshine on Sunday with a high of 40. And mostly cloudy skies over Sunday night with a low of 23. And 43 on Monday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs to deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Janet Lawhorn.
Together, we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office on the north side of the square in Broken Bow or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
8:07, 7 degrees outside, and it feels colder than that, to be honest, because we have a wind out of the south at 6 and 7 miles per hour now. It was higher than that, making it feel colder than that 7. Barometric pressure is at 30 and falling. Humidity at 84%. High yesterday was 25 with an overnight low of 1 below zero. Sunset today at 5:56. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:48. That's a look at weather and news at 8 here on The Breakfast Show. Brent, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you like golden retrievers?
Yes, absolutely I do.
It's Golden Retriever Day, International.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it says here that they're one of the favorite dogs as far as popular pets go, but they bark a lot.
Oh.
But I got to tell you, there's some little dogs in our neighborhood that a retriever can't hold a candle to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think little dogs bark more than big dogs, personally.
You could be right.
Yeah. That's my contribution for this half hour. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we got Tierney here with us from Mid-Plains Community College. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Is this the first time we've talked to you this year?
I think so.
I think it is.
Maybe.
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Because I think Casey was in last week. So, so how are things going? I know that you're into the new semester, so things are hopping, I'm sure, at the college campus.
Yes, we're fully into kind of our semester-long classes. We have a couple coming up in February that are kind of our late start classes. So our nursing assistant class is starting the 13th, I want to say, February, so next couple weeks. Our med aid class is starting tomorrow, so we kind of are starting our late start classes, but everything else is in full swing, back in the routine of things.
Mm-hmm. The nursing assistant class, is there still time to get into that? Is it full?
It is not full.
Okay.
As of yesterday.
Okay.
And I think there is still time. Yeah, I would think there is until
Okay.
that day. So I think next week would probably be the last week to
Yeah.
sign up if you're interested. I know we had some calls about it, so the sooner the better. It's full enough to happen. Like
Yeah.
we have enough kids enrolled, but it's not full yet.
Okay.
So
there's still a spot or two if someone's still interested.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. I know that you put together the community ed classes and everything, so I'm assuming that that's part of what you want to talk about today.
Oh, I suppose. So we were supposed to have a get to know your camera class tomorrow. Fortunately, we have to postpone it to be decided. But I do want to postpone it to have it at a later date. I just think, I don't know if the word can get out more. It's a class I feel like a lot of people don't know they may need. It's just a class that, if you don't know what settings, they might, your picture might come out blurry or too bright or anything like that. It's a class to kind of know how to fix all that. So I think it'll be a great class. Unfortunately, we won't be able to have it tomorrow, but we will reschedule it hopefully for later in the spring or in the summer. So keep an eye out for that if that's something that interests you. And then we only have one other class this month. It's kind of a slow month with the beginning of the semester and everything. Is our tumbling tulips and barn quilting class, which is not blankets, I learned. Barn quilts, I did not know what a barn quilt was, but it's not a blanket. It's those big pictures that go on barn, or like big paintings that you see on kind of the peaks of barns.
They're very popular around here.
Apparently,
They're very popular.
Where I came from, I did not know what that was. But yeah, it's a very popular class. So we'll be having that Friday the 24th. And you kind of get to pick between, so the tumbling tulips is a pattern with some tulips on it that you can either pick that or you can pick kind of the basic geometric barn quilts. So that's kind of nice to have two different styles. But yeah, prices vary, but that'll be Friday the 24th from 6 to 9, and there's plenty of time to still register for that. So
I have a question about the Get to Know Your Camera class. Is that the camera on your phone?
No.
Or no? I'm sorry, I just had to...
That's a fair question. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, maybe some of the things could apply, but unfortunately it's camera. So you're
someone into
Canon or-
photography.
Yeah,
and
like
things.
the big cameras.
35 millimeter type. Yeah.
I'm sure some of the things, like the settings on lighting, and maybe could be applied to your camera phone. But that's a good class that we may have to have then, a specific get to know your iPhone. Or
the reason I
phone
ask is
camera.
I just got a new phone.
Oh.
And it's like I went to use the camera the other day, and it's like I think I can do more with this, but all I know is to hit the button and take the picture.
No, but that's a good idea. But this one specifically is for the physical cameras themselves. But maybe I'll work something up, and that could be a class also. Because
there you go.
I agree with you. There's like portrait mode, and there's different lighting even on your phone nowadays.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know any of that.
So
I think there's even, you can transfer pictures from your old phone to your new phone, and the new phone may have the capabilities of putting out of focus pictures back in focus. That's how crazy it gets. So like you said, you can push the button and take the pictures, but there's all kinds of wonderful tools if we just knew what they were.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same way with the new digital cameras that you're talking about, that you can just set them on automatic and they'll take wonderful pictures, but there's so much more to learn.
Yeah.
And there's something about framing a picture in a camera that's still much better than a phone as far as actual composition goes. So I think the camera one will be well worth their time. If they have a camera and like to use it, there's probably a lot of things that they could be doing, as Brent said. If you understood all the tools and used them, it'd be even more fun.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, or was, I guess now that it's postponed, the first in kind of a series that instructor was going to do. So he was starting with a get to know your camera, and then he's kind of moving into actual photography taking and all of that. So then his next class would be macro photography, so taking things close up, small figures. And then I think he's doing wildlife and then astrology.
Wow.
And all that. So it's kind of was the first step in a series of classes. He will have the rest of the series of classes. So if you are somebody that's like, oh, I already know how to work my camera and I just want to take pictures, then this next class, that'll be March 4th, focuses on macro, so a different type of photography. So if you already are an expert in your camera and want to just learn to take better pictures, that's kind of the next step.
We have a digital 35 here that doesn't get used as much as it should, I think, because of some of those reasons. Yeah, it has a telephoto lens on it, and that's a blessing. Sometimes it also doesn't work very well for other things. So, there's a lot to learn there. I think maybe I'm going to talk to Grant and see if he wants to go. Our news guy can use the camera more if we knew how to use it a little better. So,
see,
yeah,
I think it'll be a popular class once it kind of. I don't know if we just didn't do very much advertising or what happened, but
kind of winter time, you know.
It's hit or miss sometimes, and who knows? We'll schedule it in May, and there'll be 20 people, or
people want to come out and do it during the warmer weather.
Exactly. So
okay, I did have a question from this week that's flown by. Was it yesterday or the day before, where you had businesses come in and visit with Mr. Purdy and some of the professors and different people about how the school could work together with the community, even more than they already are, because I think most people realize that Mid-Plains is pretty good about that. And then you also had the session that Jeremy and I attended, where it was just community members kind of with their input. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was Wednesday, so we had, 2 sessions. I was not super involved in it, so I don't know the distinction between the two. I think maybe it was like businesses and then community members. But yeah, they had a chance to kind of say what they wanted, if they wanted specific, on-site training before their students go out to work, or better communication between the students that are graduating and then the job seekers out there. So it's always good to get feedback, I think, and from the sound of it, it seemed very successful and very positive. And
yeah, I thought so. I thought it was well worth the time, not only for us to be able to say, we would love you to train more construction workers and more plumbers and more electricians, because every community, I think, that Mid-Plains is centered in has that same need. But then the other way around, what can we do as community members to help Mid-Plains Community College as well? So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's also just a good way to kind of remind people that we're there.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like we're just secluded, or we forget that we have an actual college in Broken Bow, which is kind of surprising sometimes. So it just reminds people that we're there, even for businesses to hold trainings, just if they want to use one of our rooms, or if they need their workers to take extra classes or anything like that. It's just a good reminder that we're here, and we're here to help in any way we can, if we can. So that's kind of one of the big steps that Broken Bow is doing was the nurse aid. Is we were pushing that pretty hard, just because that was a pretty big lack in the recent years. So that's kind of the things we can do. Unfortunately, we have some restrictions in like the construction and electrical and diesel and all that. We just don't have the facilities, so that's a North Platte. But I mean, that's not to say that you can't head that way.
And you can get started here and get going with it. Because as we were discussing, if you can weld, or if you have abilities in building houses and construction, there's a job waiting for you right now. So,
exactly. That's one of the crazy things when I went to tour the Applied Technologies section of Mid-Plains, which is your construction and stuff, was just the amount of potential scholarships. Like John Deere is willing to pay for your whole college if you come there and work, or there's just so many opportunities in those sections of programs that just you might not even have to pay a dime, and then you're also guaranteed a job. which is kind of perfect.
That's it. Perfect. That's right. One of the instructors mentioned with Mid-Plains, if you're taking classes and you're paying for everything to get the classes in, then you've done something wrong. You're not paying attention, because there's ways to save money through Mid-Plains with scholarships and different things.
Yeah, even, ACT scores or GPA from your high school, there's a huge reduce in price, and not even if your GPA is like, there's still something you can get. So yeah, that's what I agree with them. If you're paying full price, you didn't look at the fine print, or we need to show you some things.
Yeah, or ask the questions about scholarships and, deferred payment. I mean, there's all sorts of avenues, and I know Brent's girls went to Mid-Plains, and it's one of the things you mentioned, Brent, is that they make it affordable.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And they're very helpful, too, with the student to lead you down the right path to find some of those opportunities as far as financing your college education.
Yeah, we don't want you to pay.
That's
we will
unusual.
help you. It's like, we don't want your money. We want to use somebody else's money.
Yeah. Well, it's a great tool for people who, of all ages. I know that a lot of the effort goes to getting kids who are in school getting ahead on college, maybe getting those credits before they ever go off to college, which is a money saver big time. And then there's adults out there who think, maybe I should learn how to weld and get a job. So it's for everybody. And the nurse thing is huge, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. That's our actual current, or the nurse aid class that's going to happen in this February is a good mixture. There's some older ladies that are, wanting to renew or wanting to get back in it, and then there's some high school aged students. So yeah, it's a wide range, and you never know with a community college. It's a great opportunity for everyone of any age. So sometimes you get a wide range of ages in each class. So that's what's I think is pretty cool.
That's great. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Did we miss any upcoming classes? Kind of got you sidetracked there.
Oh gosh, no, you're fine. We just that was just the tumbling tulips and barn quilt for this month, but we have some classes coming in March. But the best way to stay up to date is, stay on Facebook. I try and post as much as I can. Tune in on Fridays to see what's happening. Or you're welcome to stop by the campus and get a flyer or anything, or call us to see what we got going on. But just that's the best way is probably Facebook if you do Facebook.
Or just pick up the phone, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to your next visit here. And have a great weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the couch.
Well,
it's going to be warmer?
Yeah, you can go out on the porch.
Oh.
Go on the sunny side where the wind isn't blowing.
Gotcha. I'll put my chair right there.
All right. We'll take a time out. We'll be right back.
This is terrifying. This is really a whodunit. This is the moment of truth.
This is 48 Hours.
This is a senseless murder.
This case reads like a movie script. It's just more like a horror movie.
This is real-life drama.
This is crazy.
I'm the only person alive that has ever walked out of his own grave.
This is how we make a difference.
This is real.
If it wasn't for 48 Hours, there would have been a funeral.
This is 48 Hours.
Available on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
In 1968, Americans were introduced to something new.
This is 60 Minutes. It's a kind of a magazine for television.
5 decades later, 60 Minutes is America's most watched news program.
You believe this is the toughest challenge humanity has ever faced?
Absolutely.
But if you missed the TV broadcast, you can listen to full episodes as a podcast.
That's really clever.
60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS, and available anytime wherever you get your podcasts.
9:24, and we'll be visiting with Rick Nelson with Custer Public Power around 8:30 this morning. That's not too far away. So we're going to get Jeremy in here and get hooked up. I guess we're going to, I don't know, we're Zooming or Skyping or exactly what we're doing, but we're going to see if we can get Rick up.
Okay.
I think we're going to Skype. I think you got Skype going last time. We got kind of a weird thing going with our Facebook feed, our video feed today. We can see all the video, but there's no graphics for some reason, so it looks a little weird to us. But we just got through getting CBS back yesterday afternoon, so you know something else had to happen, right?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Before we get too far along here, I know that you're not going to participate tonight, but there is a gathering out at the Paddock building. It's a trivia game that's taking place, and we're a part of that. I'm not, but because my wife is way smarter than I am, she's going to represent me.
That's all right. I really didn't get an invitation to be a part of the group either.
Yeah, I think that because we're just radio guys and they know that we bring people in to provide information that are smarter than us every day.
Yeah, we just, Dave and I just wouldn't be really strong in a trivia contest is what we're trying to say.
You might be good in the sports department if they had fishing questions and
yeah, if there was a sports category, I might be able to contribute a little bit, but beyond that, I don't think I would be much help.
I mean, here would be one I could answer.
Music, 80s music, I could probably help.
I could do some music. Fishing questions concerning plastic worms, I might be able to get into that.
Yeah.
The better colors and so forth.
And, I don't know if there's a poetry section.
Oh, I don't know
But
either.
if there is a poetry section, wow.
Well,
maybe. Because I know okay, you may not have a lot of history in poetry, but now that you've found yourself in the realm of poetry, the information just might flood to your brain.
Flood would be a good word for it, yeah. But anyway,
yes.
Christy is the captain. It's Captain Christy.
Jeez, well, wow, that's a surprise.
And the emails have been going out.
Here's my question. Was Christy elected the captain by the rest of the team, or did Christy just inform the rest of the team that she will be the captain?
I don't really know, and I'm not going to say.
Okay.
But
this is to benefit... Am I right on this? This is to benefit the Optimist Club, right?
Yeah,
okay, that's to me that's the most important thing, because the Optimist group does a lot of great things for this area and for this community and for our youth. So great event and a great fundraiser for that organization.
Yep. And by the way, it's not open to the public. They're going to fill the room with teams.
Yeah, I think it's already full.
Yeah, it's already full. Yeah. And I'm going to help Jeremy with the PA system, and we're going to provide that, and then we'll.
Jeremy is like the what do they call? I want to say the MC.
Yes.
Or so, he's the one that's going to ask the questions. So he's kind of like the Alex Trebek of the night. Is that correct?
I think so. And maybe I'll be able to write a poem about Captain Christy before the event and read that tonight to kind of kick off the event. I don't know. But you're supposed to bring your own drinks and your own snacks.
I see.
And, that costs money, so I'm not bringing anything.
You might want to be careful. You might be getting charged for some things as far as the snacks are concerned.
Oh, Christy's giving me the look.
We got the look?
Oh, she got her head sideways. That's never good.
She's coming in the studio.
To be the captain. I didn't.
Oh, didn't? Okay, I didn't know. Now listen, when I first said this, I said, did the team vote Christy as the captain or not? So they voted you as captain.
Jeremy put me as captain.
Oh, Jeremy put you as captain. Okay, all right. Well, I think you'll be a great captain.
Well, so I took charge. What's a captain do?
Well, yes, and you're good at taking charge. So I think the team is in great hands.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Christy.
Let's see.
Bye.
Captain Christy. She's no prissy. But sometimes she has a hissy. We'll take a time out and see if we can get hooked up with Rick Nelson here. By the way, we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card to Broken Bow Floral later on, and they are geared up for Valentine's Day. So,
am I eligible for that?
No.
Rats.
No, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm just trying to think of some more words to that poem. I can put that together before the night's over.
If you do put one together, at least send me a copy of it, would you please?
we're over time here. I was going to ask you if your mom, our mom,
yes,
ever said, "Don't have a hissy." Don't have a hissy about it.
Well, fit always followed.
Hissy fit.
Don't have a hissy fit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, the words are coming. They're starting to flow. Christy, hissy, sissy, fit. We'll take a time out, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have Rick Nelson.
Are you tired of this bit?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some other words that would rhyme with that. We're not going to go there.
Okay. No.
All right, we'll take a time out. You think you can get us hooked up?
I'll sure try.
All right, here we go.
Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio is ready for Valentine's Day with a menu to help you choose the best gift for your budget. A menu for Valentine's Day? Yep. Items include fresh flower creations, gift baskets, ready-to-go potted plants from the Plant Studio, a full selection of delectable chocolates and caramels, gifts for kids, and gifts for the guys. Call Broken Bow Floral now to get your order in. 872-2454. Make this Valentine's Day your best one ever. Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio, South 1st Avenue.
No matter what you drive, you need to depend on it, and that all depends on good maintenance. Good thing WinQuest Napa Filter Sale is February 1st through the 11th. Stop in and stock up on quality Napa filters and take care of the ride that takes care of you. Whether you drive a tractor or a truck, a semi or a two-door spec, we've got you covered. Grab your list and come to WinQuest Napa Filter Sale, February 1st through the 11th. WinQuest Incorporated, proudly serving you since 1925. East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Gary's Superfoods in Broken Bow. Save with them today. 10-pound tubes of 80% lean ground beef are $3.29 a pound. And delicious USDA Choice Top Round Roast is $3.99 a pound. 5-pound bags of Our Family red or yellow potatoes are 2 for $5. Start your morning with General Mills cereal. A wide variety of choices are just 2 for $6. Gary's Superfoods, online at garysuperfoods.com or South B Street in Broken Bow.
I love the morning show.
Wake up with us. We sound way better than this. Casey and I, KBBN Radio.
Love is in the air at Bernie Health Mart. If you love savings, go and see them just off the square. They are a Love Local participant, so when you save, you get entered for the Chamber Love Local prizes. Right now, 20% is marked off of jewelry, of course, including beautiful Montana silversmith pieces. You can't have Valentine's Day without chocolate. Russell Stover and Baker's chocolates are marked 10% off. Barney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Mr. Rudy's Mercantile in Moore and Sargent wants you entered in their Valentine's Day giveaway. It's super easy to enter. Just toss your receipt in the basket at Mr. Rudy's with your name and number. The winner will get a romantic prime rib dinner and dessert for 2 and a bottle of wine on Valentine's Day at the Comstock Premier Lodge Copper Basin Tasting Room. The drawing is February 10th, so go get entered soon at Mr. Rudy's in Sargent.
Rick has been entertained for a couple minutes now because he's watching us get this going with a little help at the last minute from Jeremy. So we're good to go.
Well, we're not technical guys. We're not technical guys.
Actually,
you just gotta, you know, it's baby steps for you and I when it comes to technology.
Yes, we're getting there.
Well, we're gaining.
Rick Nelson, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How about you?
We're good. We're good. It's good to have you along. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. I would. I'd much rather look at you two on Facebook than me, but
that's okay. We want to feature you because you're our guest.
Oh, is that how that works?
They have to look at us every day, and when somebody wants to be on the show, they should be featured. And we're glad you're here. I did pick up the Custer Public Power mailer, the catalog that you send out, Empowering Progress edition for January and February, and I have some questions on that, but I wanted to start out by asking you if there's something on your mind that you wanted to highlight first off today.
Wow, Dave, that's a good way to start a new year again. Actually putting me first, is that what?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, it's a resolution.
It's our new motto. Put Rick first.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can handle that. So it's really good to hear you guys. So I've got a list of 100 bills that I want to go through. Is that okay?
Well,
wow.
As they say, it's your time.
Your time.
Yeah.
Also don't want you guys to throw a hissy fit. So.
Oh no,
no,
we don't want to do
that.
we don't want to, be like the captain.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Captain Christie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go ahead.
So we had a big week this week down in Lincoln. Custer Public Power, along with 33 other members, got together with the statewide Nebraska Rural Electric Association to talk about bills and have a board meeting, take some position on bills. Certainly not going to go into that, but I will highlight that this is probably the first year in almost 15 years that we do not have a net metering bill that we have to talk about. Which in our world, that's a great year because it's the first time we haven't had to talk about it. But anyway. There's some bills in front of the legislature this year that deal with public power, and a lot of them are good, and so we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's this week. Had the Nebraska Chamber had their annual event last night, and that was very exciting. Lots of people there. So a few familiar faces from the Custer County area, so that's good. And other than that, I'm at a loss.
Oh, that's all right.
I don't have anything to cause a hissy fit. So.
Oh, darn it! Well, we'll get that done before this show's over. Just trust us on that.
So what'd you find in the magazine?
Well. It probably relates a little bit, you were talking about net metering and so forth, but I know we talk about it quite often. Well, let me just back up here for a moment and say sometimes I think people need to be reminded that Custer Public Power is public owned. And so therefore, a lot of these meetings and all the things you go down to check out on the unicameral are directly related. And so that's why you take part in those, or at least are there to see what's going on, and in some cases provide input to the representatives who represent your large area that you serve. And so I think the political side of it has to be, watched and taken care of by you because you're a public power entity, right?
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that, Dave. That's a great segue into a good conversation. So, public power is its existence is under Chapter 70, and so everything we do in public power has probably a rule attached to it, some line in the statutes that has to do with that, which has to do with public power. So Chapter 70 is our chapter. Talks about board of directors. It talks about governance. Lots of things within that chapter, and sometimes it's a matter of we're fighting for public power because we believe so much in it. I believe, and I think our customers believe in public power. Local representation. They know their board members. They know they know the employees. They know all of us, and so it's comforting to have that public power feel at Custer Public Power and throughout the 8,000 square miles that we cover. And so that's kind of in a nutshell, that's kind of what we want to protect. And so sometimes it's protecting it. Sometimes it's working through, different governance issues. We certainly spend some time talking about that. And you guys know me. Everybody listens to the show knows that I'm all about transparency. That's one reason that I come on the radio show, is to provide some transparency for Custer Public Power. And I'm not afraid to talk about, what we do in our board meetings and what we get accomplished, because I think the track record is there. I think we're going on to our fourth or fifth year of no rate increase. We've given close to $2 million back, and probably give a little bit more back in 2023 in excess margins from MPPD, direct pass-through back to the customer. I think there's a lot of positive things going on. So when we're talking about Lincoln, and we're talking about the legislature, and we're talking about things that affect public power, it's always comforting to know that our customers are excited about public power and want to see it continue. So that's my little 2 cents about Chapter 70. There's always that cloud, I guess, hanging over, that somebody thinks that selling off public power or creating some other type of entity would be better for the state. Certainly, a public, not a public, but a private shareholder-driven utility probably doesn't. I know it doesn't have the same profit motive, and at Custer, all the margins that we make go back into the system. We bring in a IOU, investor-owned utility, then all those margins go to the shareholders. And so that's, I just don't, we work almost on it is nonprofit, but everything that we get goes back into the system to provide a reliable, low-cost energy source for customers. So.
And reliable is a big word.
Reliable.
Yep. An example, a few years ago, and I think they've had some trouble since then in Texas. They understand now that private isn't always reliable when a storm comes along unexpectedly, and they're not geared and prepared for it. So that's just one example. But I think most people are pretty happy about this. Pretty well covers your piece in the magazine about bringing in the new year, and that's talking about keeping the cost in check, and pretty good record here in the last 3-4 years. The rates that you charge have not changed to bring in more revenue, and you kind of go through all of that. One of the things then to make is we're going to be transparent then. As human beings, Rick, we understand that when it gets cold, the furnaces run more often, and we use more electricity than we think, maybe as much as we do in the summertime. And we can't understand. We scratch our head and we go, why is my bill as high as it is? And I'm sure that you get calls and comments from some of your customers going, hey, what's going on? And unfortunately, I imagine what's going on is that when you have the temperatures we've been having and the winds we've been having and the snow on the ground, we're burning a lot more energy. And you're providing the energy we need, but our bills are going to go up a bit, right?
Well, so the bills that people are getting now are actually December usage. And so if they're seeing their bills go up let's back up a little bit and ask the question, how many Christmas tree lights that are non-LED did you put up? So let's get over that little hump first, and then we'll get to the it's pretty doggone cold out there. So you're right, and so some of the so let's go on back to rate making.
Okay.
Let's unpeel that onion just a little bit. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to get that far into it. But the winter rate is a little bit higher than the summer rate, and that's because of causation, and that's because the rates that we charge are we go off the price signal of our wholesale supplier, and so in the wintertime, if it's cold and there's more resistant heat and your bill is going up, then so I'm going to turn this into an efficiency issue as well. So first of all, I would think that part of that bill going up is probably because you have resistant heat. And believe it or not, we do have a incentive if you put in a heat pump, which would certainly reduce your cost of energy, cost of electricity. Mm-hmm. Did you like the way I threw inefficiency in there?
Yeah, I like that.
But
smooth.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
But, well, thanks, Brent. Appreciate that.
You bet, Rick. Just thought I'd chime in quick.
Yeah. Probably the first and only time this show. But, just kidding.
Well, one of the things, Rick, you have in your magazine on the next to the last page is 5 ways to fight the winter chill and save energy. And so pretty common for you guys to provide information on how you can try to hold those bills in check with activities that reduce the use of energy. And I know you have a full page on that, and if people can get their hands on the publication, there's a lot of good ideas there to kind of reduce the amount of energy you use and stay warm at the same time.
Right, and that's exactly what I wanted to get into was we've talked about this quite a bit, Dave and Brent. The cheapest kilowatt hour is the one we don't have to buy. And from a rate making standpoint, we're to the point where, or pretty close to the point where, if you don't use it and we don't buy it, then Custer's not out anything, you're not out anything except a lower bill. And that's why we've been trying to, over the last 10, 15 years, talk about energy efficiency, because it doesn't hurt us, and if we don't have to buy it, that's just the cheapest way to do things. And so we need to we continue to talk about energy efficiency, continue to provide incentives, continue to try to promote our customers using less electricity. And it's inherently backward thinking. Why would a utility want that?
Yeah, it really is. But
then we go back to we don't have shareholders who want a return on their investment.
There you go.
So,
well, you have a good article here. It's by Abby Berry. One of the ones that stick out, of course, and that's one that probably gets talked about as much as anything. They recommend you set your thermostat at 68 degrees or lower when you're home, and when you're sleeping or away for an extended period of time, try maybe 58 to 62 degrees. And I know some people that are cold-blooded are going, oh, my Lord, man. But if you're not there, you know, you don't really need to have it that warm. The other thing, I think, I don't know about you, Rick, but I have a bad habit sometimes. If I'm outside working or I'm outside for a little while and I'm cold and I walk in the house, I go, man, I'm cold. So I go over and I look at the thermostat and turn it up a couple notches. Well, you know, really, how silly is that? Because you know, once you get in the house and get adjusted, it's probably plenty warm. That's just kind of something that I've caught myself doing a couple of times. Why do I turn up the thermostat when I walk in the house? Because I'm cold outside. But 68, that's pretty much what we try to be around here at the studios. My wife is much better about running lower than that during the day, and the programmable thermostats really help too, where they turn themselves down and up during the nighttime hours, right?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy my programmable thermostat. It cools off over the nighttime, comes back on right before you wake up. You know, you can program it any way you want, and when you leave, it automatically goes down. I think I set mine at like 62 when I leave, and then set it at 70 when I come back.
Yeah.
And so, but you got to be a little careful, because if you have a heat pump, you don't want that cycling that much. You want that to kind of stay at a constant temperature. Because when you bump up that 2 or 3 or 4 degrees, it's actually going to kick on your resistant heat, and then we've lost all the efficiency that we gained.
Yeah.
If you do have a heat pump, either get the thermostat that controls the emergency backup, and if you don't have a heat pump, then you're just talking about resistive heat or propane or gas, and that does the same thing. Now, I remember a year or two, or probably even more ago, while we're having that discussion, somebody asked the question, well, all the masses within your home cool off, and then you got to heat those back up.
Yeah,
well, maybe.
I've heard that.
But from a electricity standpoint, it's still more efficient to drop down that temperature and bring it back.
Okay. Now, I've found, and this is pretty scientific. I think I know you're kind of one of those scientific guys, but since the last couple of years, the cats don't stay inside all night, but they'll come in occasionally during the day and stop and visit. If you really want to know where the heat sources are in your home, just let a cat in, and they'll find all the registers for you. They'll be sitting right near there, and I always said, when you go outside, if you watch the animals and the fish, you know how to act. So if you're one of those people that like that forced air heat, just watch your cats. And speaking of cats, you have a note in the magazine here about not letting your cat sleep on top of an electric blanket. And I wanted to ask you, it says pets should never be allowed to sleep on top of an electric blanket, because you have a whole article here on smart tips for using. And I want you to know, I'm looking at you right now, your complexion is normal, but when I use the term space heaters, you usually turn kind of red. But smart tips for using space heaters and electric blankets. And I know you have some thoughts on space heaters, but why don't you want a pet on top of your electric blanket?
Well, because that creates issues with the electric blanket thermostat, and so you don't want to have you don't want competing forces. So that cat is going to create some heat, and that heat that's underneath of that cat is doesn't see that cat is hot. And so you don't want to wake up with a boiled cat.
No, you don't want a hot cat on your blanket, that's for sure, because they'll shed.
Well, as long as it's not electric, that would be great.
Yeah, there you go. All right. But electric blankets and heaters, we tend to lean towards those this time of year, and you have a whole article in the...
Sparingly.
Yeah.
Use those sparingly. Yep, because don't... yeah. Do you really want to get into that, Dave?
Well, I just like to get you worked up, and I know when we talk space heaters, you get all worked up, get all jacked up on space heaters.
I'm about to have a hissy fit, let me tell you.
We do not want a hissy fit from Rick on the air. Well, electric blankets have their purpose. Now, if you live in an older home and you don't have a lot of heat upstairs, they certainly come in handy. You can turn them on a little while before you go to bed and get the bed warmed up before you hop in. But a lot of times, most folks out there that are older can remember when you lived in a home when you were a kid and you got in bed and you didn't have an electric blanket. It was really cold when you first got in there, and then after a while, you got warmed up. You just had to stay there real still until it kind of warmed up a little bit.
Yep.
And so sometimes
and
I think...
and then you warm up that little spot you're laying in.
Yeah, yeah.
But your toe tips out of one way or the other, and then, whoo, it's cold.
Well, my foot's cold. But the idea there is that you might want to, you warm up your bed with an electric blanket, but you might not want to have it as high after you're in bed for a while, right?
I would think you wouldn't need that, because you certainly warm up once you get within that little cocoon shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the electric blanket is more for, let's warm up the bed, let's warm up where we're at, and then I would recommend shutting it off and just using the blanket on top of it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, in this article, too, I think it's worth mentioning, Rick, that it notes that when it comes time to get rid of a damaged space heater or electric blanket, just don't throw it into your general waste. Check with your local recycling facility. I think that's good advice.
It really is, and if it truly is bad, unplug it. Make sure it's unplugged, and then cut the cord.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just cut the cord off. That way, if that kind of signals that it's in bad shape. And then go recycle it if you can. There is, we're in this time in the world where we're running out of steel, out of copper. All the components of that can be recycled. That's if we have the ability to do that.
All right. Now, I wanted to close with the article I thought was fascinating. And I don't expect you to remember everybody on this page, but you say, where did 2022 go? And then you list everyone that's been with you for a while, even retired folks that you thank for being part of the team. And then you also mentioned some promotions that have taken place recently. But here's one for you we can talk about. Ron Bailey retired in 2022 after 41 years.
Yep.
James Gibson has been with you 35 years. April, now this really blows me away. April has been with you 20 years. I thought she was 27 years old now.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. I can't agree with that. She has been with us 20 years, though, and it seems just like yesterday when she was hired.
Yeah.
It's really we've got a lot of experience out there. We've got a lot of Ron Bailey, 41 years. Oh my goodness.
That's something.
And when people do retire, they've been there a long time, and pretty proud of that. They know the customers. They have been around the customers. Think about it. So 41 years. So that's like 1980-ish, right?
That's crazy. I'll just run through these real quick. Spencer Burke, lead lineman from Thedford, 15 years. Angie Flynn, customer service, 10 years. And this doesn't seem possible. Taryn Burrows, 10 years as your assistant, executive assistant. And Alexandra Hart, 5 years. Now you've got some new employees in that are working as linemen and in the office as well. Weston Kunke and Jordan Limburg with the lineman side. And then Shelley Apperson, customer service representative. She is a wonderful person. She has a lot of trouble with her husband. And I think it's great that she's able to concentrate and do such a great job and deal with her husband at the same time.
You know, Dave, I'm glad you brought that up. I think the entire population has a hard time with her husband, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm still here, Rick, just so you know. Just want to make sure you're aware of that.
Hi, Brent.
Yeah, hi, Rick.
Hi. Yeah.
And there's some promotions as well that you mentioned here, which are fun. But I mean, if you have people there's been 30 and 40 years, and that speaks for itself. If you watch businesses who have people that stay where they're at, that's the best sign you can have.
Yeah, it's so 30 and 40 years is a milestone. I think the new milestone is having somebody there 15 or 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, you're right.
You know, this market we're in is horrendous. You know, I can tell you stories about. I know there's another power district just to the south of us that spent about 6 or 8 months trying to hire a CFO. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
And so this labor market is horrendous. So I'm pretty happy with a 15 or 20 year employee and their willingness to be here. But you know, that's kind of all in the hiring process. We've been hiring some very good talent. You know, I think we just brought on two, well, even more than that, probably 3 or 4 really good apprentices in the last year. You know, all the employees from top to bottom they're just stellar and great work ethic, and I couldn't be prouder to have everybody on that team.
All right. Well, that's a good way to conclude the show on the great staff that you have. Rates holding as very best possible of our public-owned power company. Rick, we appreciate it.
You bet. Everybody have a good day.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Rick Nelson, our guest via Skype.
Yes.
There he goes. He disconnected. We're going to take a break.
Okay.
And then we're going to have some news. That's all coming up next, plus a $25 gift certificate to the Floral Shop. And that is Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio.
What a great time of year to win that.
Yeah, Valentine's Day coming up. That's all coming your way. Plus, we expect guests in the studio from the local FFA chapter to talk about their labor auction. Stay tuned.
Ansley Lumber and Supply is locally owned and operated and proud to be your full-service lumber yard. From premium lumber and top-quality building materials to paint, tools, and ag supplies. When you drop by Ansley Lumber, their crew is prepared to help you with your project. From the materials for building a house to the accessories and pieces needed to make it a home. Ansley Lumber and Supply, Main Street, Ansley, or call 308-935-1815.
The list of songs about love is a long one.
Yeah, who do you love? I'm gonna keep on loving you. Calling it laughing time. Gonna give up.
At KCNI KBBN, we love shopping local. Make sure you're listening to The Breakfast Show. Every single day, a new $25 gift card will be given away. You're listening to The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN Radio.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. The job market was booming last month. Employers added a whopping 517,000 positions. That's more than double the month before. And the unemployment rate fell to 3.4%, its lowest level since 1969. Bob Elliott at Unlimited Funds.
Part of what we're seeing that indicates a really strong labor market is an increase in labor participation. It had fallen a lot post-COVID. And now we're starting to see people move back into the job market.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger on where those positions were last month.
The leisure and hospitality sector added 128,000 jobs, professional and business services 82,000, healthcare 58,000. And in a bit of good news for the Federal Reserve, average hourly earnings over the last year were up 4.4%.
Dow down 122. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monty Bolaños.
LeBron James had 26 points last night as the Lakers edged the Pacers 112-111. He is 63 points away from becoming the NBA's all-time leading scorer, and this is what he had to say after the game.
I think it's one of the greatest records in sports in general. I think it's up there with the home run record, in baseball. It's just one of those records that you just don't ever see or think that would be broken.
The Lakers will play the Pelicans on Saturday, and then they host the Thunder on Tuesday. The Milwaukee Bucks were down by 21 points, but came out on top against the Clippers 106-105. Giannis Antetokounmpo 54 points and 19 rebounds. In the NFL, Joe Mixon's agent claims that the running back's misdemeanor aggravated menacing charge is expected to be dropped today.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Some fog early on today, otherwise sunny with a high nearing 33. Partly cloudy overnight tonight with a low around 22. Staying sunny but breezy throughout Saturday with a high nearing 40. Westerly winds between 10 and 20 and gusting as high as 35. And clear skies Saturday night with a low around 22. More sunshine on Sunday with a high of 40. And mostly cloudy skies over Sunday night with a low of 23. And 43 on Monday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Kara Foster.
News and weather was brought to you today by Custer Electric and Irrigation in Broken Bow. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer, has the offerings you're looking for this winter to prepare for next year. As you know, every season brings new focuses. Here are theirs right now. Specials on driveline conversions, sprinkler packages, and winter maintenance specials, to name a few. If you've worked with Custer Electric and Irrigation in the past, you know that they want to get you taken care of the right way at the best price possible. They encourage you to get the work you need done scheduled as soon as possible because prices are rapidly increasing for a lot of supplies. Plus, that schedule book can only get so full. Don't forget licensed electrical work you might need done too on ag, commercial, and residential applications. Ask for a free quote. Custer Electric and Irrigation, your local Zematic by Lindsay dealer in Broken Bow, serving the whole area with electrical, agricultural, and commercial services. Call today at 872-7786. Follow them on Facebook or visit custerei.com. Custer Electric and Irrigation. Experience the difference.
It's 9 degrees above zero under a cloudy sky here at Broken Bow, Nebraska, and we told you earlier that we were going to be visiting about the labor auction through the local FFA chapter, and we're excited because we have Keelan Shea with us to talk about that. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Good, double good. Super good because, Brent.
Yes, Dave.
I've known this young lady forever.
Mm-hmm.
Since she was, but before she walked.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started walking, and then she started talking, and then she started reading, and she started doing all that, and she's a smart kid. And then she started going to the fair with her dad and folks and bringing in cattle to show and so forth. And so I've known her a long time. And she always does pretty well at the fair.
Good.
Yeah, as I remember. I think you had a champion or two, haven't you?
No, not quite yet.
Not quite? Okay, you're getting close then. All right. So you're in FFA. I don't even want to ask this question. What grade are you in this year?
I'm a sophomore this year.
Oh, Lord. Well, that doesn't seem possible. So as a sophomore in the FFA, you like the organization?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good this year.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of the things you're involved in personally with FFA? You have some projects you're doing?
Well, yes. A couple weeks ago, we had our LDE competition, and I competed in the Parley Pro event with my team. And then this week, I think, on Wednesday, we have our CDE competition, and I've got vet science and floriculture.
Wow. That sounds kind of complicated to radio guys, but I'm glad you're doing it. And you enjoy it. So, labor auction coming up, and that is tonight at the school, is that right?
Yes, in the cafeteria.
Okay, all right. Do you know about how many kids will be available to work for somebody, or did they give you those figures?
Don't quite have those figures, but there's about 70 kids in our FFA, so quite a few.
Wow. That's a pretty good participation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we know that FFA is not just these days, and hasn't been for quite a while, just for kids out on the farm or ranch, because agriculture, it has all kinds of opportunities through sciences and different technologies and so forth. So that's great that you have that many kids, and probably not all of them are from the farm and ranch, I would think.
No, so quite a few of them actually live in town, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you're out in the country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So that's fine. What time does it start?
So the supper part of it starts at 6:30, and then the actual sale will begin at 7.
Okay, all right. And who's the auctioneer, do you know?
Our auctioneer is going to be Corey Palmer again this year.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, man, Brent, you know, that's a fiasco with Corey. He starts teasing people.
Yeah.
He's kind of a, you know, well, how do I want to put it? He gets better prices by lots of different ways.
Uh-huh.
That's a sign of a good auctioneer too, isn't it?
Yeah, he's usually pretty good.
He's pretty fun. Yeah, all kidding aside, he does a great job. Okay. Anything else? I guess the question would be: is there a time element on when somebody, buys some labor? Is there an expiration date on it or anything, or do you know?
There's not really an established expiration date. You just talk to the person you buy and use them whenever they're available.
Okay, all right. Might be in the spring or summer even, I suppose, which would I wonder if I could show up. I could get somebody to help drag stuff out of my basement, for instance.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can come buy labor for anything you need.
Yeah,
There's no limit.
Yeah, and not just agriculture, right? I mean, could be if somebody needs to help clean out the garage, or, help lift some things for somebody.
Oh yeah, if the price is right, you can get them to do whatever.
That's right. That's right.
And Keelan, the funds raised go right back into the Broken Bow FFA program, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious, since we've known each other for so long, do you have any other sports activities that you like to do?
I used to do basketball, but this year I'm mostly focused on track.
Track?
Yeah.
And you're lifting some weights?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a rumor about that. Can I feel your muscle? Wow. You're kind of a dedicated weight person, aren't you?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I've heard that. Well, what better way than to get stronger for track, right, Brent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who is your advisor for FFA?
Yeah, our advisor is Mr. Tim Menzel, Caleb Tim Menzel.
Okay.
New last year.
Okay.
I met him this week. He was at the Mid-Plains Community College input session, and very nice guy. Really cares about the kids, trying to ramp everything up. I think he's a good guy, and I told him anytime you need help out, hear from us as far as promoting things, let us know. And he said, well, I think we'll be doing that on Friday, and here we are. But anytime, Keelan, that you want help as far as promoting things, just let us know, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Have you been able to go to the national convention?
Yes,
Okay.
I've been twice before. The one in Indianapolis, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've been twice before. It's a really fun experience. You know, you just get to see all these different kids from across the nation who are in FFA. It's pretty cool.
And if I remember right, every year at the convention, you usually have like some big entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who have you gotten to see the last couple of years? Can I ask?
Well, last year we didn't go to the concert they had, and they had a rodeo last year too, I think. But this year, I'm going to butcher whoever this was, because it was a country singer.
Okay. Well, we might be able to help you out.
Russell Devers, maybe?
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't listen to country, but it was a cool experience.
Good. And I'm sure that the interaction you get with other FFA chapters from around the country has to be a lot of fun when you go there.
Yeah, you get to hear a lot of fun accents too.
Oh, I bet you do.
That's cool. Well, I'm quite a sight when you get everybody with their blue coats on and gather that many people and all the different things that go on. Yeah, that's kind of a highlight, I think. So you're going to go again?
Yep, I'm going to apply again anyway.
Okay.
See if I can go.
All right. Okay. All right, let's recap. Is 7 o'clock tonight?
Dinner at 6:30, auction at 7.
All right, and that's in the cafeteria at the school.
Yes.
If you're needing some help with a project in the future or in the immediate future, a great way to help the FFA and help yourself as well. So, Keelan, thanks a lot for coming in.
Yeah, thanks
it's good
for
to see
having
you.
me.
Appreciate it. You too. We'll take a time out with these words.
No matter where your schedule takes you, stay up to date on your bank accounts. Sign up for mobile banking or online banking with Bruning Bank to keep track of your accounts anywhere, anytime. At home, the gym, grocery store, day or night. Deposit checks, transfer between accounts, view transactions, and check balances. Set up bill pay so you never forget to pay that bill ever again. Ready to simplify your life? Download the app or visit bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Team Physical Therapy. We are your complete physical therapy stop from babies to the elder, from sports injuries to joint replacements, from dry needling to manual techniques. We have it all for you. 872-5111. We offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Or check out any of our locations in Broken Bow, Burwell, Gothenburg, Kearney, or Callaway. Call for your complete physical therapy needs and to a healthier 2023. Team Physical Therapy, 872-5111.
Some secrets just can't be kept, especially about savings like this you can get right now at The Secret Garden. 25% off candles, cards, and antiques, 40 to 60% off everyday home decor, and 50 to 60% off winter home decor. Open Friday 11:30 to 4:30 and Saturday 8:30 to 4:30. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7 says, "But we live by faith, not by what we see." The Secret Garden, 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north.
Want to go someplace new? Yeah, you do.
Just follow me. I'll lead the way.
Welcome to CBS Mornings.
See something new.
Oh my God, that was a good moment. Learn something new. This is my first virtual reality interview.
Meet someone new. Like me. Nate B in the house. What?
There's always something new under the sun.
I came to shine because you guys are shining this morning.
CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
I'm Nora O'Donnell in the nation's capital.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell, bringing understanding.
Mr. President, there's a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about.
With facts first.
Is this a national emergency?
Unbiased reporting.
Do you think she was afraid to report what happened in Afghanistan?
Yes, ma'am.
And you put your life on the line. Why do you do it? I just love being out there.
Making sense of our world.
Do you think there's something about the pandemic that unites us all?
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell, weeknights on CBS.
It is 9:18. Before we close the show, we'll be giving away a $25 gift card to Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio here in Broken Bow, and Valentine's Day's coming up, guys, or girls, for that matter, if you want to give your guy something nice.
Get something nice for yourself.
Yeah, just treat yourself. A couple things I have. Brent has a few things he wants to pass along to you here at this time. Very nice gesture by Gary Russell yesterday. Gary dropped by some breakfast pizza and some donuts. Just because, and Gary, we appreciate that very much. You said some nice things in this note here, and we appreciate that very much. Gary was one of the qualifiers for the Blake Shelton tickets, and he said, I didn't win, but I had a real good time, and here's breakfast for you guys. Well, thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. Also want to remind you again real quick that tomorrow they'll be having a poker night at the Callaway American Legion to help raise funds for an ongoing Rose Hill Cemetery Veterans Memorial. And they'll have a social hour from 6 until 7 with some finger foods and drinks of your liking, and you can also purchase those at the Legion Club. And they'll start playing poker around 7 o'clock. You buy in for $60. They have a rebuy program as well. Mostly they want to raise money for the memorial and have a little fun. And so if you like to play cards, you like to play poker, give them a call at 870-2022. That's the Sons of the American Legion in Callaway putting this on.
You've been mentioning that we'll be giving away the gift certificate to Broken Bow Floral today as part of our Love Local promotion. Well, we want to remind you that the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce has put together a Love Local promotion, which is currently in progress. Enter for this drawing at all of their participating locations. Now, there's 2 ways that you can get entered to win. 1 entry for every $25 spent at participating businesses, and you'll get an additional entry if you find the hidden heart in that business. So when you check out, tell the employee at the register where the heart was hidden. There's several prizes to give away. The grand prize is a night's stay at the Kincaidor Bed and Beer Suite here in Broken Bow, plus a free tasting and tour for 4. Now, this promotion is currently in progress and runs through February the 9th. They'll do the live drawing for all the prizes on Facebook on February the 10th at 9 a.m., and I think they're going to do that right here, right? Or, I mean, we're going to go there, right? It'll be on KCNI, KBBN Radio during the breakfast show, I believe. So here are the businesses that are participating in the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce Love Local promotion. They are Broken Bow Floral, Bow Bootery, Clips and Curls, Varney Health Mart, Ansley Lumber, Chapin's Furniture, Ollie's Coffee and Sargent, Lily Kate Boutique, The Quilting Shack, Geared for Sports, Kane USA Beef, The Garden Center, Ortello Dale, Nebraska Pasture Door, and Kincaidor Brewing Company. So stop by those businesses through February the 9th and get registered. Remember, you get an entry for every $25 spent, and then be looking for that hidden heart in participating businesses and get an additional entry to win some great prizes through the Love Local promotion, sponsored in part by the Broken Bow Chamber of Commerce.
All right, thank you, Brent. Want to kind of recap here. We had guests in from Steffens Law Office. Bill Steffens himself and Jeremiah Luby were here. They're attorney at laws, and they provide a free service for you. And this is a gift your loved ones can use, a Valentine's Day gift that will last a lifetime. Again, that's on Wednesday, February 8th at the Broken Bow Library Multi-Purpose Room at 6:30. And this is a free estate planning seminar at no cost to you. And then also, of course, thanks to Keelan Shea for coming in. Again, that labor auction is tonight at 7 o'clock, 6:30 with a little snack or two, and they'll start auctioning at 7 in the cafeteria at the Broken Bow High School.
Here are some job opportunities that are posted for you right now on sandhillsexpress.com on the employment page. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership looking for an individual to work as an infant toddler teacher center specialist, 40-hour per week year-round position in Broken Bow. Now, to be eligible to apply for this position, you must have your Child Development Associate Certificate, looking for someone with an associate's or bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and they would prefer experience working with infants and toddlers, income qualifying families, and past supervisory experience. You would be responsible for center coordination, supervision, and teaching. An application can be accessed by contacting CNCAP Human Resource Department at 308-745-0780. The extension is 0, or you can just go to their website and apply online, and that website is centralnebraskacap.com. Also, the Custer County Farm Service Agency seeking to fill a full-time permanent county program technician position at the county office in Broken Bow. The position offers benefits such as health insurance, 401k, paid holidays, vacation and sick leave, and flexible work schedules. You would be responsible for carrying out office activities and functions pertaining to the technical assistance and program support related to FSA farm and farm loan programs. To access a link where you can apply for the position online, we direct you to the full posting, which you can find on sandhillsexpress.com. Again, just go to the employment page. If you'd like some additional information about the job itself, you can contact the county executive director at 872-6877.
All right, the Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow, Nebraska, located on Highway 2 right across the street from Gateway Motors, right between Subway and Vet Care, just past the First Avenue stoplight or just before the stoplight, depending on which direction you're going. It's easy to find. You pull right in, plenty of parking, and plenty of great service inside. And again, at the Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow, they remind you that they're open 7 days a week for your convenience. And they also want to remind you, in a nice way, that they watch the competitive pricing out there and they make sure that they're not too high or that they're drawing you in with a ritzy special and then charging you more for other things when you get in there. It's just everyday good pricing, fair pricing at the Whiskey Barrel in Broken Bow, whether you're going in for pick up a soda or a specialty drink out of their cooler or maybe a beer, and they have both beers in the cooler, specialty beers that they sell. They have domestic beers. But the one thing they want you to know is when you take products out of their cooler and put them in your cooler, you're going to warm it up because they're right on the edge of freezing. And by the way, free ice with purchase. And you can get a little free of ice while you're there from Stan and the crew. Great people. They'll take care of you. Whiskey Barrel and Broken Bow.
One more job opportunity to remind you of this morning. Highway maintenance worker is needed in Ansley and Broken Bow. This position through the Nebraska Department of Transportation. And right now they're offering a $2,500 hiring bonus. Seeking a dedicated and hardworking team player that's willing and able to operate a snowplow. Training and career development will be provided. There's advancement opportunities, ample paid time off, work-life balance, and a solid comprehensive benefits package. To apply, you need to go to this website, statejobs.nebraska.gov. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity, veterans preference employer.
926. Happy birthday if you're having a birthday today. Dave Davies of the Kinks is 76 today. Morgan Fairchild, 73. And Amal Clooney is 45. Now, Amal is married to, George.
Ah.
And she's a lawyer, an activist, and accomplished attorney who specializes in international law and human rights. She was able to also snag George.
Does it say how long they've been married?
It doesn't, but it's been a while. I think maybe they had twins.
Oh?
I think George was probably older than 45 when they got married, and I think they started a family.
Oh.
Yeah. And he has his own, is it tequila? I think he has his own tequila brand.
Oh, does he? Yeah. Okay.
Might check it out at the Whiskey Barrel.
Yeah.
There might be some in there. All right, if you're out and about and you're thinking, what could we do just to kind of, break up the winter, break up winter. A nice big cup of coffee at Brubaker's Coffee House in Arnold would do just that, and you might be able to do a little shopping while you're there.
There you go. You can do shopping because Brubaker's has and this is exactly the way it's worded on the sheet, has a plethora of gifts for all of the sweethearts in your life. It is a great place to go. If you're looking for the perfect Valentine's Day gift, check it out at Brubaker's Coffee House and Gifts. They're offering grab-and-go floral arrangements, candy, jewelry, purses, coffee. They've got items for the kids, and, of course, gift cards. Something for everyone, for all ages, as you get those people that you love in your life, something special for Valentine's Day coming up. It's the historic destination barista bar and gift shop right here in our back door at Brubaker's Coffee House in Arnold. They are open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 5, open on Saturday from 9 until 3. Their phrase is simply this: coffee with a friend is always a good idea. and there's no better place to have it than at Brubaker's in Arnold.
Earlier in the show, we were talking about maybe one of the most popular dogs as a pet would be a golden retriever. Well, here's a little story for you that might make your jaw drop just a little bit. The world's oldest dog.
Ah.
It's a Portuguese farm dog, born on May 11th, 1992. Not only is he is the world's oldest dog at nearly 31 years old,
wow.
He's also the oldest dog known to ever live that long, period. Records. They know because his owner registered him with the local vet, and this particular breed lives between 12 and 14 years. It's now 31.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Must only eat dry dog food.
Oh, maybe that's the key.
Might be.
I don't know.
Just guessing.
Hey, we had the chance to talk to Ladarius at the Pizza Hut earlier this week, and they remind you about all the great things that are happening there. Of course, you can still get those delicious pizza melts, which are a big hit. 4 flavors: chicken, bacon, parmesan. Meat lovers, buffalo chicken, or pepperoni lovers, kind of like a quesadilla, comes with the marinara dipping sauce. Delicious treat you can get at Pizza Hut in Broken Bow. Don't forget about their delicious pasta lines and, of course, the pizza specials that they have as well. Dining room is open, so come on in and see them. Also, if you're looking to grab a great job, you can talk to Ladarius about joining the Pizza Hut team. Stop in and talk to him if you're looking for a part-time job, still needing some team members. And don't forget, as we come upon Valentine's Day, you can get your pizza shaped in a heart.
Oh.
So come in and enjoy the heart-shaped pizza. Perfect treat for Valentine's Day, and you can get them at Pizza Hut.
And just a reminder here this morning from the Breakfast Show, kind of be careful about the youngsters using your card to order pizza.
Oh, okay.
A 6-year-old ordered $1,500 worth of pizza on his dad's phone.
I chuckle, but this isn't really funny.
It could happen.
Oh, it could easily happen.
And, in the larger city especially, this was in Detroit, and the 6-year-old got a hold of his dad's phone and ordered $1,500 worth on Grubhub.
Oh, man.
$183 for jumbo shrimp, a few $100 worth of chili fries, and buckets of ice cream. And the parade of deliveries went all night, including $500 worth of pizza, before the bank finally froze Dad's credit card. He posted it on Facebook that his driveway looked more like a drive-through with all the delivery guys pulling up and dropping off the products.
Oh, my goodness.
Yikes.
Like I said, that's funny, but
yet
kind of not funny because you could see it happening. Wow. I wonder what... How do you treat the kid? Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, as a parent, if that happens, what do you do? I mean, do you discipline, or are you like, okay, I got to do a better job of hanging onto my phone?
Or locking it with a password or something. I don't know. Did the young man, 6 years old, know he was...
Yeah, even kind of what he was doing.
Doing something wrong, or was he just having fun ordering up the goodies? I don't know. I can imagine what you would like to do when you got $1,500 worth of shrimp and pizza on your driveway, but I don't know how you'd handle that.
All right, let's see. Here's some other things that we want to make sure that you're aware of. Universal Insurance, reminding you that if you're in business, you want to make sure that your business is insured properly. Ask Universal Insurance in Broken Bow about getting the right coverage. They have a wide knowledge base and catalog of information to help your business, from HR to OSHA availability to other features that will play a key role in your business success on the insurance side. Talk to Universal Insurance in Broken Bow today. Call 872-6438. You can also visit them at 940 South E Street. Also, people within our community have taken it upon themselves to help bring awareness to mental health and the importance of reaching out when needed. So there has been a website created as a resource of mental health providers in Custer County. And the website is mhpcc.org. Raising awareness is imperative. There is help out there. You don't have to go through things alone. Not all mental health conditions can be cured, but they can be treated. So take the time to focus on yourself and check in on your mental health. Please reach out. You do not need to struggle alone. And a great starting point is this website. It's mhpcc.org.
I'll go this way.
Okay.
I was going to try another way, but... Oh, now it's coming in.
So you're calling somebody.
I was, yeah. Let's see. There we go. That's working.
Boop, boop. Bum, bum, ba-da-bum.
Hello? Hello, hello? All right.
Somebody answer?
No.
No? Didn't answer.
Calling party line.
The party line doesn't start for about another hour.
I know, but we still use a number sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Huh.
Hi, Christy. I was going to try to call you on 22801, and so we could hear you better.
What do you need?
Well, I was wondering if you'd just come in and warm up our coffee for us.
No.
Eek.
I'm not.
Hey, Christy, this is Brent. Can you hear me?
I can't hear Brent if he's talking.
Okay.
I can kind of hear this muffled.
Oh, well, come on over, Brent.
What? Oh, you want? Okay.
He's coming over here.
So
that's why I wanted to use the phone, but I couldn't get picked up.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, here's my question. You're the team captain for the KCNI KBBN trivia team.
Captain! Yes,
tonight,
but I didn't run for this position. I was just pushed into it.
Okay, that's not... But the bottom line is you are the captain.
Yes.
So here's my question. I was just curious. Are you going to do any, like, team building exercises to kind of bring unity within the team before you participate later today?
Probably won't have the chance to do that, but I've got all the details covered, the costumes, the little theme going.
Costumes?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay, well, what's
I
the
got some
costume?
snacks. We're having chocolate chip cookies, chips and salsa.
Wow. Okay, well, it sounds like you've got all of, snacks. Don't you want to win? I mean, what's your strategy for winning the tournament?
Our strategy was having Grant and Joan on the team.
Okay.
We're just there to socialize and snack.
At least she's honest. Christy's like, I'm the captain. I'm only worried about the snacks and stuff. I don't care about the actual answering of questions.
Yeah, this is not going to be something I'm going to brag that I could win because just leaving it up to Joan and Grant.
Oh, we didn't even make the team, so.
You didn't want on it. Neither one of you.
Well, Brent has a big day tomorrow, and I'm going to help with the PA, and I wouldn't be much help with trivia, honestly. So, anyway,
good luck tonight.
Yeah, good. Thank you. And so you're not going to warm up our coffee for us, because
No, I'm not.
as a kind of a builder of the team spirit.
You're about to end the show. You can come back and get your own.
Goodbye, Christy.
Goodbye.
I'm just going to say this right now.
Yeah.
I know Christy just said that she isn't too focused in on the trivia part from herself, and she said our strategy is basically to put the burden on Grant and Joan. And I got to be honest with you, I really feel bad for Grant and Joan. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, Christy is still very competitive. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
And I'm just afraid that if Grant and Joan don't perform well, Christy's going to still get upset.
Well, you got that right. No doubt about it.
So, good luck. I was going to say good luck to the team, but I guess good luck to Grant and Joan. I wonder how the rest of the team feels. about that strategy.
Well, they're not going to be able to talk much with salsa and chips and cookies anyway. They're going
to and bring your own drinks.
Yeah. Well, it's a fundraiser for the Optimist, and as we mentioned, it's full up. They have the building full of teams. Should be a lot of fun. Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio is ready for Valentine's Day with a menu to help you choose the best gift for your budget. Now, this includes fresh flower creations, gift baskets, ready-to-go potted plants from the Plant Studio, a full selection of really tasty chocolates and caramels, gifts for kids and gifts for the guys. It's all there at the Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio. Get your order in now. The number is 872-2454. It's on South First Avenue. And Nolan might have some paint there. I don't know if it's for sale, but I know they have plants at Broken Bow Floral of all kinds and great gifts. So there you go. The number again, 872-2454 on South First Avenue here in Broken Bow, all ready for Valentine's Day. We will take the second caller at 872-2801. Second caller at 872-2801, and you'll win a $25 gift certificate in honor of the Love Local promotion.
You're no stranger to working in the dark. But with John Deere Operations Center, you can see your farm with more clarity than ever. That's because Operations Center provides insights you can access anytime, anywhere, allowing you to analyze your results, share with your advisors, and make a plan to improve yields, grow profits, and gain ground. See what you have to gain at johndeere.com/Operations Center.
Have you ever asked a farmer if they talk to their fields?
Promise me you'll grow nice and tall. You got that? No, you were corn in 2013, not 2014. Hope you were thirsty. You think Cheryl's still mad at me?
After all that talking, sometimes it's time to listen. Your field has a voice, and John Deere Operations Center helps you hear it. Unlock every acre's full potential by using both agronomic and economic data. Visit johndeere.com/Operations Center and unlock your operation.
It is 9:41. Congratulations to Jerry. He called in, and now he has a little head start on a gift for someone special. $25 gift card at Broken Bow Floral and Plant Studio, all ready for Valentine's Day on South First here in Broken Bow. That number again, if you'd like to order up some flowers for your special person, 872-2454. Last but not least, before we close, I'm kind of freaked out about this, and I don't know if anybody else is, but I have a question. A Chinese surveillance balloon that was on the news this morning spotted over Montana, and they were spying on the silos, nuclear silos out in Montana. It's been hanging around at a very high altitude for days, peeking at the ballistic missile silos there. The Air Force scrambled jets to shoot it down, but then realized the debris might actually hurt people on the ground, so it's still floating around up there somewhere. The Chinese, I guess, have used balloons for spying before, but never for this long in one spot.
Yeah. I'm kind of uneasy about that.
Yeah. and evidently it's unmanned, I would imagine. It's way up there high in the altitude and unmanned, I'm guessing. I was going to say if it was like a manned balloon, you could force them down and, find out some information back maybe, but they didn't shoot it down because they didn't want it to hurt anybody. So now it's still floating around up in the air. So, Montana's not that far from Nebraska.
Yeah.
So if you're outside and you look up and you see a balloon up there, it's the Chinese.
Eek.
Yikes.
Hey, a quick reminder about what we got going on for you tomorrow. State Duels wrestling coverage for you on KBBN 95.3 FM in Broken Bow, Nebraska, kbbn.com. And again, the way we do it, you're getting the actual coverage of the matches. We're describing the action to you as it happens. It's play-by-play coverage of wrestling competition. And so we encourage you to join us for it. We've got a lot of great area teams who will be competing. Classes A and D will be on the mats first. So that means our early focus will be on Anselmo Myrna and Twin Loop, as they'll be wrestling at 9 o'clock beginning tomorrow morning in the quarterfinals of the state duels. And then at 10:30, classes B and C take the mat. Broken Bow will be competing in Class C. We'll have live coverage of all of their matches for you as well. So we encourage you to tune in. We'll be on the air with you through the entire competition, and it can be heard on KBBN 95.3 FM and KBBN.com. And just one other thing, don't forget, tomorrow Dylan Reynolds will be inducted into the Broken Bow Athletic Hall of Fame. Dylan, a graduate of Broken Bow High School, graduated in 2017. He'll be inducted in between the girls' varsity and boys' varsity basketball games here in Broken Bow as Broken Bow takes on Ogallala. They anticipate the induction to be at around 4:30 or so on February the 4th. So please join the Broken Bow Athletic Booster Club in celebrating Dylan's athletic achievements and Hall of Fame induction tomorrow.
And to close the show, good morning to Steve. He's in our chat box this morning. Also, Pam Holcomb sending out a howdy to Keelan Shea. And Millie Winkler, who was at our breakfast on Wednesday, says good morning. She said some nice things yesterday that I didn't get on the air talking about. She suggested I stick with the poetry and not sing. And also enjoyed the breakfast. Thank you, Millie. And also, she says today, good morning, loved hearing the wrestling coverage yesterday. And you'll hear some more, Millie. You just heard it. Tomorrow, big day. I guess that's it.
I think so.
I'm a little nervous.
Nervous about what, Dave?
Well, Chinese balloons and Captain Christie.